Turn this damn thing on.
You'll figure it out one day. You're going to figure it out. All I can see is my huge forehead, but that's okay. Chat.
And it's working, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think any more of that what is it, quicksand fetish
Quicksand porn. No, I didn't. As soon as we stopped talking about it, I was like, I'm gonna pretend that's not a thing. I
that
don't
people
want to know
don't get
about it.
into
It's so weird.
I don't know. I like if you consider that okay, so one time it came into a movie and then there was some young boys probably that fetishized the imagery of a woman being entrapped in quicksand. I guess you'd call it entrapped.
Why do you think it's young boys? Why are young boys the
I guess it could be old men, but
although do you think that fetishes start when you're young? There
yeah,
is that
I think
sort of
so.
train of thought.
I think
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have like okay, so at some point when you would have to have been a big reader to hear about quicksand because quicksand is not like everyday occurrence. The only reason we know about quicksand is because of cartoons and TV and shit.
Yes, they were in everything. They were also in so I used to like those choose your own adventure stories,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they were always in those. There was always a quicksand page
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every. It doesn't matter where you were, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a huge thing, and I thought that quicksand was going to be a bigger deal than it is in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
It's
a
just not
comedian
around
that
really.
talks about that as
Yeah,
well.
I
I
thought it
forgot which one it
was.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also heard that like it depends on the type of quicksand because there's several different types, I think. But like you have the type that's mostly like mud and it's more like soup, like or like stew. So you're
Yeah.
in it
That's like
and
the never ending story.
yeah, kind of like that. There's
Like,
that kind of quicksand, and
yeah.
then there's some quicksand that's more dense and it'll actually crush you.
Yeah.
But that's just what I've heard. Of course, I haven't encountered it. No
That
one's ever
sounds
said quicksand.
horrible. Actually, this reminds me there was a book that I was reading and it was a horrible book. Everyone was so horrible in this story. It was just like real life. And then this woman gets like a good relationship. She's finally like she's in love and this guy's so sweet and blah blah blah. And then he's mucking around. He's not very smart. He jumps into like the back of I can't remember. I think it's like silo, like a grain silo,
Hmm.
and it's filled with sorghum. And basically, that's yeah, he
He
just gets
he
swallowed up by
suffocates or
it.
does he get crushed?
I'm pretty sure it's suffocation. I don't think
Oh,
it's
suffocation
crushed.
through
I don't
sorghum.
know. It's one of those. It's one of
Mm,
those two. Either way, it's
yeah.
bad. And then that's it. And she was like watching him, and it was just like, bye. It's terrible. I don't know why anyone would find this as like a fetish thing, like seeing someone getting swallowed up by sand. It's so disturbing. I don't. That's
Well, I guess they
way out
I
there.
guess maybe in their head there's this damsel in distress thing. I mean, I'm sure she needs to be saved for the complete the fetish maybe,
Right.
or
Okay.
it's her help being helpless. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's a different thing. I guess that's a different thing. I think that's a pretty common one for like women to have as well.
The helpless, the
Like
damsel in distress.
yeah, because like when I was growing up, that was all of the stories, like so done to death. But like everything was the woman was always in trouble and the dudes were saving her. And like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April was always needing to get saved by the turtles.
Yeah.
And which is, obviously a romantic comedy, that movie, that show. Anyway,
Oh,
the
we've actually got
that
somebody
sort
in
of
the chat.
we've got someone. Hey, it's Harry.
Oh, cool.
Harry, who was your favorite Ninja Turtle? Yeah, but I think that
I think
I think
Ninja
that
Turtles
that was
was
a
before
thing.
Harry's time. I assume. I assume. I don't
What?
know.
He's not he's not super younger
He's
than me,
younger
is
than
he?
Ninja Turtles. I think.
What are
Even
you
the second
talking
or the
about?
third generation of Ninja Turtles. There's like three generations of Ninja Turtles,
I
and I'm
just assumed
assuming.
that Harry and I were about the same age, but I could be wrong. Revisionist history episodes on The Little Mermaid. Oh, interesting. The
Oh, he
original
watched the original
movies.
movie. Oh, okay, cool.
I watched the show, but my brother was older than me,
Ah,
so
Vanilla Ice.
nice.
That's funny.
Oh my god. Yeah, those suits were pretty. They were something. I think I only saw the first movie, and then that was enough for me. Um,
There
Yeah.
was more than
So
one?
Harry, I'm glad Harry's here because I was going to tell you about Mage Night last night. So
Okay, go ahead.
I taught Mage Night. I taught it to Harry. And it was really fun, but we had such a hard time.
Hmm.
Like we really struggled with it. Okay, actually, first I want to talk about the teach because it ended up being
I
the
would have guessed.
he's saying rubbish teach.
That's my guess.
No, no. So I think that all right, two things. So I think that it was one of the easiest teachers for me ever to do, and it's because it wasn't really a teach. I just kind of went, look, these are the basic concepts of the game, and then we're just going to play it because that
Hmm.
is the best way I think to get stuck into the game. Otherwise, you're just going to be bored out of your brain. Like there's too many little fiddly things, even though they make sort of thematic sense when you think about it. They're really fiddly things, especially the like resistances and
So,
blocking and all that crap. So
uh,
I just taught basic game concepts. I was like, look, this is how you move around, and this is like what you're going to be doing, and you need to level up. Uh, but the other thing, we had so many things against us, like there was only like one mage tower in the whole game, and we didn't get any spells. Like, how can you be a mage knight and not know a single spell? Like, we
did
sucked so hard.
okay, one, did you guys set it up correctly with the right hexes? Because if you set it up with the
Yes.
right hexes, it should not be like that.
No, no,
Depending.
the country tiles are still randomized in this scenario. So I
Hmm.
followed all the things. But anyway, the other thing I was going to say, the second point of my teach was Harry is not going to be able to play this game. Like he could not now go and play this game
Hmm.
because I didn't teach it. We just played it. We basically played it. And
But
yeah.
is it okay? So was that because of the shortness of time, or you don't like teaching it, or you assume that people don't want to know all the rules, or what is it? What is it?
I think you're just going to have a better chance of liking the game if you get kind of stuck into it. I mean, like it's in the actual game itself that there's like a little playthrough. Hey, just do this
Mhm.
scenario. It's like just it'll walk you through the game, and you'll just do a few things. You won't do the full rules, but you'll just the first reconnaissance or whatever it is. Um, I think that's a better way to hook somebody in, and it worked. Look, he said I would sort of. Oh, you would sort of know how to play it. Yeah. I loved the game, by the way. I would 100% play it again right now. Ha!
Yeah.
I call that a win. That is
I
a
don't know if
win.
it was a win because he could have liked the game had you taught it the long way. Well, okay, so the only reason I bring that up because like the two people in my game group want to be taught all the rules first. It doesn't matter what I assume; they want all the rules because that lost feeling is greater pressure than whether they know the rules. They'd rather not feel lost,
Yeah.
completely
I
lost. Like, what do I do?
I
But that's,
completely understand that too. For any other game, I would completely understand that. But because it's a co-op and because it is Mage Night, I would say not to take that approach.
I would say in Mage Knight, it depends on the player. If you got people who are into the rules, give them the rules. Give them the
What if
rules
what if you
because
said what if there was a compromise? What if you were like, "Hey, let's play one round and we'll just pretend play and we'll play an open hand and we'll just muck around and then you'll know sort of what it's like and then I'll go through
I'd be
all
wasting
of
their
the
time.
rules."
They want the rules. I'd
Oh
be wasting their
gosh.
time. I'd be playing the game for my own enjoyment. Their enjoyment is knowing the rules. They want to know the rules and then play.
Oh, I don't
It
want
would
to
be
play with
completely
them.
for me. I mean, I would rather play and learn as I
Yeah.
go because I don't
Yeah.
expect to do anything, but they want all the rules. They want it all and they want a
I would be
thorough
afraid with
explanation.
Mage Knight that that would just turn people off because it is so like
Not
rules
them, it wouldn't
heavy.
turn them off. I think that you really have to give people their own rope. If they want to hang themselves, let them hang themselves. Ask them, do you want all the rules or do you want to play and have a good time?
True.
Because if
Speaking
you
of hanging
don't,
themselves,
okay.
Harry was Harry was hilarious because he'd only leveled up. I think he was on like level 3. I think I don't
Hmm.
even think he had two. So he could have had 2 units. I don't think he even did have 2 units. We had no
Mm.
spells. He was the weakest of the three of us, right? And he's like, I'm just going to go in this ancient tomb, and
Oh no.
yep, yep. And there was a dragon in there, and like a I don't know standard tomb enemy, the beige one. Um, he said I did so poorly. Yeah, he took like I think it was 12 wounds or something in one
Mm.
go. He managed to
Yeah.
kill. There was a Medusa in there. He killed the Medusa, and then the dragon just absolutely smashed him. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm like, you can't go in there. Don't do it. And he did it anyway.
Yeah, the
Oh,
thing with
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the other hilarious thing. So every time he killed someone, it seems to be that every time he killed someone, he would get right to the end of the fame track, but not click over,
oh
right at
no,
the end. Yeah.
yeah, I would say that with Mage Knight, it's all about timing. You're so not in your element because of the timing thing. The timing is the most important part of Mage Knight. Like if you have to get the timing right, or else you're just not going to do well. But you're there to have fun. But you're there to have fun.
You only live once. Yes, that's
Yeah,
true. Yeah, I think you're right about the timing. It's like, if you have a handful of movement or something, you gotta get rid of a couple.
you got to know what to
You
do.
can't.
You got to know what your options really are, and you have to be able to sacrifice your hand. And it's not about what you want to do; it's what your hand tells you can do,
Yeah,
and you have to make those sacrifices with it to do
it's
well.
true. You have to be
But I
able
but
willing
I've
to.
played a ton of Mage Knight, a ton.
Yeah. But I think he was doing that in a way. I think he was like, oh, what are the things that I can do with this hand? And it just happened that he didn't have a whole lot going on there most of the time. He was either full movement or full attack and
Mm,
nothing, never a
yeah,
mix. Yeah, no, it is good. He had a
such a good
blast. That's
game.
cool. I'm glad you liked it, Harry, because it is my number one game. Love it. We had such a good game of it, didn't we? Didn't we, babe, when you were here?
Yeah, oh
We
yeah,
were
I loved
smashing
it.
it. We were like the opposite. Everything seemed to be really just easy for us.
Well, I've got a lot of experience with the game. I would argue that even with a bad hand, I can play it pretty well
Mm.
because I've played it a lot. Give me all movement, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's uh, it's just I've played a shit ton of that game. I've
Yeah.
had to work myself out of a lot of holes, but I've had some really bad games early on, so that's that just teaches you. You just have to play it a lot. You just really have to play
Yeah.
it a lot,
Yeah.
and then you'll get the rhythm. I always talk about rhythm in games, and that game definitely has a rhythm.
And it's
Every
the
hand is
risk
played
factor
differently.
too. Like you got to take some risks. You just have
Oh yeah,
to
yeah, and
to
you
get
have to
some of that
know.
fame and
Yeah, you have to know when to take the risk and what's worth taking the risk, how much wounds to take, what characters are the right characters to play for your style. That's also an
mm.
important thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
like a friend of mine, he used to always use the character that took a lot of wounds because he did a lot of reckless battles. You know,
Yeah, that
the
was
red
me.
woman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arathea. Yeah.
yeah. He does that because he does a lot of reckless stuff and he just gets a lot of wounds. So that works the best for him, and it worked out really good in our team.
Dean was that
Although
character and he couldn't get wounded. He was just too good. He's like, I want the wounds. Come on. Hit me, bro.
but like I played the game wrong like the first few times where we were like collecting, we had gold crystals instead of tokens, and
Oh,
a
wow.
black token, like some
That
cheating,
would have
some
been
major
awesome.
cheating. It took, we
Yeah.
reread the rules and played it right eventually and learned the game the correct way. But that would be the one game that me and him disagreed on. He would love if we would have cheated a little bit, made it a little
Yeah.
easier and got really cool stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm not like that. I'm like, no, we're not playing that. You
The
either
only
play it
thing
right or don't, or we're not playing.
Yeah. The only thing we cheated on, so you mentioned
Oh, you
the
cheaters!
yeah,
You
the only thing
cheaters!
we
Get
cheated
out of
on
here. We're
last
turning this
night.
damn thing off.
The only thing we cheated on last night was the third city that came was meant to be level 11. And I'm like, there is no way in hell we're going to do that because we all suck. And so I made it level 8. We did not even get to that city. So it mattered not.
Yeah, it
It
mattered
really
not,
did
but
not.
it's the spirit of being a cheater that matters.
Oh, well, I have the spirit of a cheater. So
Yeah, you have a spirit of the
embrace
cheater.
the cheater within. I shared with everyone on Facebook that love message that I sent you to, by the way. Hey,
Oh,
Jace is here.
oh, cool.
You're like, oh, what? Why?
What did Harry say about the puzzle? He said something about the puzzle.
Okay, so Harry said the efficiency puzzle is so good, and I had a
Yeah,
blast even though I wasn't doing well. Loved it. Jace, we are talking about Mage Knight, my favorite game of all time, the best game of all time,
the best adventure game ever made.
ever, ever, ever. I haven't played the
What?
expansion, the other expansion, the
Oh,
Tesla guy, the bear dude.
oh yeah, yeah. I've played them all. Love them
Is it
all.
good? What does it bring?
Yes, I don't
What is it?
remember. I just
Sell
know
it
I
to
like
me.
it.
Sell it to me even though I own it.
Have you played Ruinstone? The Martin Wallace adventure game? Is it Ruinstone?
No.
Is that
Runestone,
Runestone?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm not that big of a
I've
fan. It's
seen
all
it.
right, but I'm a
Mm.
Mage Knight guy. And how about the
I'm a
Star?
Mage Knight guy.
How about the Star Trek version?
No, I haven't. I got invited
I
to
like
play
that
it
one
one
too.
time, but but it's Mage Knight, right? Of course I'm gonna love it.
It's a little different, but yeah, it's pretty much Mage
Okay.
Knight.
hmm You're a little blurry, babe. You need to move forward and yes, come come closer.
We've got a lot of chatter. What do we got?
It's
Oh,
cool. They are just talking about Mage Knight being really bloody hard because it
yeah,
is.
it
It
can be.
was.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
So when Mo and I played, there was this spell that he really wanted, which was the instant kill spell, and I was just like, yeah, and I took it. I took it from him
Yeah, we're
straight
supposed to be on the
away.
same team, and you took it. You don't know
Yeah.
how to co-op, right?
Well, you were
You
gonna
can
take it, so
cheat
I had to
co-op,
give
but you
him.
can't play right co-op. That's messed up.
No, you know what it is? It's that we weren't. You were a little bit ahead of me, and I had to even the kill, so we're both really strong. Otherwise,
If I'm
that's
ahead,
why it's co-op.
we're on the same team. If I'm ahead, that only benefits both of us.
No, you're only as good as your weakest link. I was the weakest link, and then I was the strongest link.
Mm,
Yeah. But the
yeah, I don't
spells are
think so.
crazy in it. And the other thing that we had last night was like the perfect storm of just bullshit stuff going on because we had hardly any units that we could actually hire because we
Hmm.
didn't have any mage towers on the board. We only had like one monastery, which was way back at the start. Uh, and then the other thing that we had was the spells were all like weird. They were all like, oh,
Hmm.
refresh a unit or get a unit from the offer straight away or things like that. They weren't just 8 damage, boom, that kind of thing. So
Right.
it was sad. Anyway, we'll play it again sometime. What's the last game you guys played and you sat back afterwards and said, that was bloody brilliant? Something you either weren't expecting or didn't know anything about?
I
You
would
just played one that
say
you liked.
Autobahn was that for me. I knew only that it was good, and I knew that it was heavy. That's it, and that's usually all I need. And Pick Up and Deliver, awesome game, amazing, absolutely amazing. How about
Tell
you?
us more about it.
Um, I don't know. It's Pick Up and Deliver, route building. Um, it's got this little Concordia thing going on with the cards. Where you're picking them up and placing them down, using it to get money and whatnot.
Okay.
But
Yep.
the puzzle is not that. The puzzle is the logistics of everything of trying to connect cities and stuff like that. It sounds like it's a train game, but it really isn't. It's a pick up and deliver truck game that has you're building these routes that are the highway routes. I don't know. Not a whole lot to say except that it's amazing. It's really, really good, and I want you to play it.
Okay. I will. Well, mine's probably Chesapeake. I played that the other night.
Mm,
It was
that's
so
cool.
good. It was really good.
It's always good to
I
hear
can
that about
see how
18XX.
18XX games are addictive. Like they're
Yeah.
so addictive, especially when you're doing the payout part.
You like the
Let's
payout
get
part?
money. Yeah, I don't know. It does. It feels really good, especially when you are the one that's getting the most money. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, I like the. It's not as good when you're not you don't have many companies that you're running. If you're not the
Hmm.
president of many companies, it can get a little bit even if you're earning lots of money. That's the only part. But then there's those like just the interesting twists and things you do. And like I dumped my company and Harry became the president of it. And because it had the trains were just about to rust. And so I just dumped it. And that just felt so good. But then I was also stressed about that because I was like,
Hmm.
shit, now I'm only running one company. So my money's invested in all these guys. Can they can they make me money or not? And then I was worried that also I'd done it a little bit too early and that Harry was going to bring the company back around and make more money than I had. And then I was going to be really sad. But it worked out well because it was like the last like round anyway of the
Um,
game.
I would say that I disagree with your thing where I think it's perfectly fine not to be the president of any company as long as you're making money. As long as you're winning, that's all that matters.
Well, I think I
Uh,
must be a little bit of a control freak because I was starting to
May,
freak out. I was like,
maybe
"Oh, you
it's
guys
all
better
about the
do
money.
some.
As
You
long
better
as
do
as long
something."
as I make money, that's all that matters.
But that's
Uh,
what's stressful. It's like, what if they're not making you money?
well, you have to
You've
put
just
okay.
bought all
So
these
one of
shares.
the rules of 18xx and most of them is you have to point out the best route they can make.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the website does that for you. It's got
Yeah.
automatic routing.
So yeah, as long as they're not withholding, and if they are withholding, it's okay because that means later rounds it'll make money and make trains, which is I mean make buy the train. So it's all good. It's all good. Money
Yeah,
goes
there was
up.
a little bit of withholding because everyone had to buy fucking diesels. They're so expensive.
Mm.
So there was a little bit of that, but I think it was still worth it. I think it was still worth it. I won, so it's fine.
Ha.
I'm happy. No, I love it. I really just want to play. Like I can see how people just like, I'm just gonna play these now.
Yeah,
I
yeah. If
really
I
do.
had to, if in a perfect world, I would play them just most of the time. I would have two groups and we just play 18xx and that's it. And then
Yeah,
once in a while, I'd play with some Euro people,
yeah.
but
But I'm
it's not
saying that
really.
now. But maybe if I played with a bunch of like, you know, real horrible people like you, babe, that and you just smash me, then I'd be like, I'm sad now and I never want to play this again.
Oh, that's the fun part is losing because like they're so long. It's just fun to play them. You know, it's
Yeah,
just fun to play. I know we have a lot of chatter, babe.
we do. We do. Okay. So Jace is asking, do you prefer Chesapeake trains or Age of Steam trains?
Mm. Two different worlds. They might be
Yeah.
trains, but they're so different. They're just like it would be like apples and basketballs. They really, it's that different to me.
No,
The only thing
it's like Age of Steam is like 18xx Junior or something that has the rules so dumbed down for kids. You know, because it's not that it's not hard and it's not that it's not interesting, but the track part, you have to admit the track part is like at least
that's the only part that's the
similar.
same is the track. Other
Right.
than that, on one you're issuing out shares, basically you're taking a loan against yourself, and the other one you're actually buying shares, and that's I don't know. They're so different. I would say I would 18xx is if you have a full day and you want to play one game. If you have a lot of competitive friends, then it's Age of Steam because you can play one, knock one out in 2 hours, and it's just so fucking mean. It can be brutally mean.
Age of Steam is, yeah, it's really hard for me. It just does my head in. I find
It's
it
mean,
way
and
harder and meaner.
it's a lot faster too.
It's
But
so tight too. It's
uh,
crazy. Like,
yeah,
you know, to get income is just so difficult.
it is. It is
um,
difficult.
yeah, I agree with Harry. So Harry is asking if Jace liked Big Shoulders, and actually we have a lot to say on that. But Big Shoulders is a good game for getting a feel for 18xx
No,
because if you do like the
disagree.
company operations and getting payouts, then
Hard
I'm
disagree.
talking about my personal like
Right, right.
experience.
And my personal
I
experience is hard disagree.
Okay, fine. You can hard disagree. But anyway, but we don't like the game. I don't like it. I know Mo hates it. Well,
I
do
don't
you hate
hate
it?
it. Actually, I like it as a game into itself. It has flaws, but it's a game in and of itself. And the moment that you compare it to 18xx, I would say no. If it, really there's no primer, there's no nothing. Just play an 18xx. Just do it.
It just gives you the feel. Literally, it's just the feels. It's just like, ooh, I like getting money and giving other people money and stuff and buying shares. That's the only thing that feels like
It's like, you want to know what apple juice tastes like? Well, here's some orange juice. It's
it.
juice. It's got sugar in it. It's not the same. Not even close. Not even close. You've got this whole Euro engine thing. There's a lot of games that pay out. I don't think it's. I don't. I really. They wanted it to be the feel of it, and it doesn't feel like it in the remotest way,
All
unless
right,
you
can we
want
talk
account
about what
giving you
we
money. Okay.
All right, let me talk about what I don't like it. Yeah, we're talking about big shoulders. So what I don't like about big shoulders is all right, two things. I don't like the way they do resources. It's way too crazy. I don't like that at the beginning. You know, if you're playing a four-player game and everyone's taken the resources, that fourth player can just not make any money at all the first entire round,
Hmm.
which there is no catch up for. So it's random basically. You got fucked over, you got last place, and you've got no resources and you can't run your company, and everyone else is running their company and making shit tons of money and you're fucked. Then the start of the next round, you don't have any money to buy any more shares. Everyone else buys more shares. You're just completely fucked. Like, forget it. Right. And
Hmm.
I hate that. The other thing is that track at the appeal track. If you just go up the appeal track, you get so many bonuses.
Hmm.
You get to go first. I think you get to
It's
operate
basically the
first.
appeal track the game.
Yeah, it's appeal track the game. Like it's way too, um, it's just too wacky for me.
Yeah.
It's not really fair. I don't think it's really fair.
Yeah.
But
I don't like the
I
appeal
do
track on
like
that.
the concepts of the game. Like I didn't. when I played this the first time, let's just say there was a drama at the table when someone realized they didn't have any resources they could get, and we had to reset just to make sure that they could operate a company.
Hmm.
And it was a little
I can see how
intense.
I can see how that could turn somebody off.
Yeah.
It's got unique problems to the game, and I think that if they would have just they were trying too hard to make something that bridged the gap, and I don't think you really can bridge the gap. All the attempts I've seen to bridge the gap fail miserably, and you just play 18 Chesapeake. It's an intro to 18XX, and it's just play it. It's not that
I
bad.
don't, yeah. I really don't understand why they would have resources that are randomly drawn from a bag in a game like that. Like, make it so you make the decision. You make the decision if you want to buy resources
Hmm.
or not. Just make it about money. Make it about the money. What's Jason saying? I haven't played Big Shoulders, but I hear good things except for everything Sarah just said. Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's
And
the thing:
okay.
in the modern board game world, it's an okay game because you're not going to play it more than 3 or 4 times. Once you play it more than 4 times, or if you're really apt, you can see the flaws within like this after the second game. I think you can see how powerful the appeal track are, how unfair it is, how the turn order really screws people over. It's just a really wonky game, but
Yeah.
if you're only going to play it 2 or 3 times or once every year, you'll never see it. So it's all good. It's kind of like what is that Martin Wallace one that everyone talks about, the two-player, the deck builder, Few Acres of Snow. It's
Right.
supposed to be somewhat almost solved, but if you only play it 2 or 3 times a year, you'll never solve it. So don't worry about it.
Right. So you never learn
So
it that much. Now, I disagree with you. I think Big Shoulders is actually it's glaringly obvious what the problems are, like
mm,
from the outset. And like, someone gets a building that everyone seems to like, and they're just like making so much money, and you're just like, why are you going on the building? They're making so much money. Like you're just giving them the win. Stop it.
mm,
Go on someone else's building. Go on the loser's
mm.
building. But
So if you have
you
it,
can
keep
you
it,
just get
and if
fucked
you
over
don't buy
left,
it.
right, and center.
So you're
Don't
saying
buy
don't
it.
buy it. If
My
you already
advice is
have
don't
it,
buy
keep
it.
it. And again, I'm saying if you have it, keep it because you're not gonna play it that often, and borrow it. Borrow it and see what you think.
And Jace is asking, I hear Chesapeake is a good entry point for 18XX, and I would
It
agree.
is. My suggestion would be 1889 if you can find a copy, but that's like a print and play. Basically, it's 1830 in Japan, so it's you can play 2 or 3 players, and it introduces you to like the full set of rules without having the problems of 1830 because 1830 is too mean. But Chesapeake's more accessible to everybody, so just play 18 Chesapeake and just realize that 18XX scales up either more operational means you do more train stuff, or it does more stock shenanigans. But in general, you're going meaner. You're going meaner and meaner and meaner.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are just operational, but then that just means that the meanness is in the track and the tokening usually.
Mm. Yeah, I found Chesapeake was pretty hard to be mean in the track.
Yeah, and then if somebody would, the game ends if somebody fucking bankrupts. Like
Yeah.
that's not normal. Like you go sit on the couch if you fucking bankrupt. That's your fucking
You
problem.
bankrupt, we're all just gonna laugh at you and
Yeah, it's
continue.
like will you go to the store and get us some beer? Because we're here for a few more hours.
Chris is saying hello. Hi, Chris.
Uh oh,
Did you back Shikoku? No?
Shikoku. What the hell is Shikoku?
Shikoku. It's the Japanese, 18XX one, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, the is it the? I thought that not the Korean one.
Oh, it might be. It might
I
be.
bought the app,
I'm not
whichever.
informed.
Okay, so there's one that's coming out that's recently that is a Korean one. I got the app on Steam. Still haven't played it. I didn't order the new one. I've got a pile of 18XX, and I got to figure out how to get them to Australia. So maybe you can back it, and we can get it shipped straight there.
Me? I'm backing
Yeah,
it. Okay.
maybe.
Am I? Okay.
I guess, or we'll pitch in or whatever to get it to
Yeah.
you, so that I don't have to fucking get it over there. But it seems if it's
Get a
like the
pallet,
app,
just ship them all.
it's €2. It looks like, but we'll see.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of hybrids they're trying to do, and the €2 is just it almost takes
Just
away the fun.
trying to bring the Euro gamers over. They're like, come,
Right.
come this way. Shikoku is the Japanese version.
Ah, okay. No, I don't know Shikoku. I know the one that was Korea that was recently came out. I might have to check out the Japanese one.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's even a thing. Is it really? Is there really two? I'm confused. I don't know anything about 18XX.
Okay, so 1889 was a print and play they did of basically 1830 rules in Japan, smaller map. I don't know if it's a re-implementation of 1889 or not. The license was open the air that anybody could print it at one point.
Yeah, right.
Brian has a print and play copy. I never got one.
Yeah, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I'm
Do any
not
of the
a craft. I don't craft. I don't print. I don't cut things. I don't do that.
1889 is pretty easy
I
one to
don't
buy
do
a
it.
copy of that someone's made for you.
Okay,
And the cool thing
sounds
is you just use the 1830 tiles usually.
good.
Anyway, I'm probably talking way too much jargon. So anyway, what do we have?
It's
What
all
do we
good.
have?
Someone said something interesting today, and it just made me remember stuff. So Steve D of Tin Star Games wrote that it's weird that people are complaining. We were sort of talking about something similar to this recently. It's weird that people are complaining about computer games costing $120. I know corporate greed is a thing, but how do you think we pay workers more? Pick a lane. And this is kind of like what we were talking about
I've been
because
bitching about
of
this for 3 weeks.
right, right. And the thing is, and like it's just ridiculous that everyone wants every game. Like it's not, and then complaining about it. It's like you can't buy every game. Buy a game, play the fuck out of it. You know.
Okay, so speaking about every game, and before we continue with this, the background image is Scrap. Scrap goes to Kickstarter. It's our friend,
Tomorrow.
yeah, it's our friend KP. And so if you're interested in dudes on the map that plays Euroly, it's better than most dudes on the map games. There it is. Anyway,
Wow,
they probably already know.
you actually did like a real official thing then, babe. I'm proud of you.
I'm not
Wow.
official. I'm officially mean,
Not
and
official.
I'm officially
Anyway,
a jerk. Anyway, go ahead.
it just reminded me of like the good old days. I'm gonna sound so old right now, but it reminded me of like the good old days where we used to go out and we used to buy a video game, and even if we sucked at it and it took us forever to get through it, and we just kept dying, we would get through it and we would finish it, and we would feel so good about it. And I just want to appeal to people to do that. Just buy a game, finish it.
See, goes to horseless carriage, and this is a conversation me and you had. Let's
Yeah,
say it's $300 in Australia. I say
it
buy it.
is. It is
Buy it at
$3.
300. Buy it at 400. Buy it at 500 because it'll
I,
be one of the top 5 games of 2023. I can almost guarantee it. So if you're gonna spend that in a bunch of other crappy games that you want to know that are good, that are gonna have hype that's gonna go away, this one will be amongst certain crowds. It's gonna be played all year long. So
unrelated question.
mhm.
Do you feel like getting me a birthday present early?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I probably should have. Like, I think that I got a few games recently, and I probably should have just got that and spent a bit more and just got that one game.
Well, yeah,
But I
like
didn't. That's too late now. Spent the money.
there's a lot of people interested in a lot of crazy things, and I think like this is like a guaranteed winner. It's like a almost guaranteed winner. It's going to be good, and if it's not good, there's more of a lane for it than your overpriced Kickstarter that you might take a hit for trying to resell it. Even
Yeah,
today, you can sell your food chain for almost what you bought for it. Even
yeah,
today,
yeah.
so
That's
that's
true.
something, and that's
That's
almost the
true.
truth with certain Spielworks games,
That's
provided
actually
that
really
they're
funny
idle.
because there's suckers like me that are waiting for someone to sell food chain magnate for cheap. The day
It's
will
not gonna
never
happen.
come.
Just give it. Yeah, just buy it. Stop being. Just buy it.
Harry is not impressed though. He's like, I didn't come here to buy more shit. I have the Board Game BBQ Discord for that. Far out,
Right,
can't get
right.
away.
I'm
Stop
I'm
it,
just gonna
Mo. Stop
say,
it.
meet me in a year, Harry, and I'll ask you: had you bought Horse's Carriage versus 5 other games you bought this year, not little cheap ones, like regular games, what would you be the most happy with? In a year from now, I think you'll probably say Horseless, or it'll be in the top 2 or 3 that you bought all
Well,
year long.
someone that we know has to get it, Harry. Someone that we know has to get it. Let's just wait for that.
No, you need to buy it. You really do.
Stop it, Mo.
It's the only game
Stop
that's worth it.
it.
You want to buy like you hear about one game and you want to buy it like Dice Realms or whatever. I'm telling you, Horseless Carriage. If I was a betting man, that's the game to bet on.
I just have a physical aversion to buying a game for $300. I don't think I can actually physically press that button. Like I'll add it to
That's
cart. Like
sad
why have
because,
I added it to
but
cart
you know,
before?
three other
So
games that
it's
are half as good, I can buy
yeah,
them all
that I
day
can do.
long because
That
they're
I
in
can do.
$50 chunks.
Right, right. Just adding
Yeah,
a little game to like, order additions. Yep, just add that to my list.
yeah. So it's like it solves two things. One, you don't have to take up more room with three or four other games. You can just
That's
have
true.
one game. They're not full size, and like I said, without a doubt, it's going to be in the top games of the year.
Yeah. Harry's like, okay, fine, I'll get it. And Jace has it coming as well. Okay, cool. Now I don't need to get it. I'll just
Okay,
play it.
Harry, if you don't
I'll just
like
be a
it, I'll
friend.
buy it from you. No problem. Without a doubt.
There we go. We got a deal here.
In
Let's see.
fact, don't open it. Just buy it and sell it to me. Same price you bought it for.
Yeah, it wasn't hard at all to convince Harry to get it. Anyway, do you remember a game that you really, really desperately wanted that you weren't allowed to get, babe? Like when you were a kid?
Are we done with the money thing? Because I could go all day long with that money
Well,
thing.
no, it's related to that because I
Okay,
was just
so
thinking how good that me and my bro used to be. And games have always been expensive. Like I remember, I'm sure that Super Nintendo games were like around the $90 mark here anyway. It's like the same
mm,
price that they are now, unless I'm absolutely out of my mind. But I thought that they were pretty expensive. And so we'd get like one. I remember we really, really badly wanted Secret of Mana. And oh my God, did we play it? Like we played the absolute shit out of it when we finally got it.
for me, it wouldn't be the price because, like, okay, so yeah, I'm not saying I was rich because I wasn't. I was poor, very poor. But we would find means to find. We would hustle up ways to come up with the money to buy a game. It's just it's inaccessibility to find it or whatever. That would have been the problem, not the money, because we would have figured out the money one way or another. If we had
Yeah.
to, wash 20 cars, if we had to mow a lot of yard, whatever we had to do was going to happen. But
Right, but you weren't going to do that for all of the games. My
no, we didn't
point
want
is
all the
that
games.
right, you didn't want them. You just wanted to play one. What you know what like the thing that I most love when I see it in my children is that they're sticking with something. That is the thing that is just like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. I'm so
Mm.
proud of you that you are sticking to something. You're just
Uh,
doing one thing."
you think there's a lot of that where there's like kids that are like I was in ADHD with stuff. I'd always stick with stuff.
There's just too many competing things now. We just have it too lucky. There's just too
Mm.
many things fighting for our attention.
Mm.
And, like all these shorts, like TikToks, everything's getting shorter and more, you know,
Okay,
bang for
so
your buck. Like small, just quickly click on this thing and you'll get satisfied by this hilarious video,
okay,
and they
so like
just drives me crazy.
I have the tendency for the other thing because like right now on YouTube, I could I could play new roguelikes that come out that are like $5 or so and play them, and everybody who's following the new roguelikes watches those videos. So you have like a wave of about, I don't know, I would say at least 500 people that would follow your videos because you're playing all the new roguelikes in early access right as they release, right? But, I came across Yishion and that's all I'm going to play for a while. That's it. I'm stuck playing this shit because I have that tendency to bury down in something and play the hell out of it.
Yeah, when you get addicted to something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
But
like
before
same
that, it
thing with
was like you were
what?
churning. You were churning before that.
Yeah, I was looking for something. And same thing with board games though. If my board game group would allow it, I would only play like the same two games all the time. 18 Age of
18
Steam
something and Age of
and
Steam, yeah.
yeah. And if I had to narrow it down to one, I'd play 1817 every day of my life till I died. I'd be all right.
Really?
That fucking game's amazing.
Okay, I'm sure after a while, if you really
No,
played it every day,
1817 is so fucking good. It
I'm
is.
going to make you play it every day until you hate it.
I won't hate it. You'll hate it. I won't hate it.
I
I'm a grinder from
didn't say
back
I'm going to
day.
play.
Back in the day, I'm a grinder. I would
Yeah.
grind for days, fishing in all the role playing games, just fishing and fishing and fishing.
Yeah, I've been down that trap.
Hmm.
I once thought I was going to get every fish in Stardew Valley, but then I decided no,
That sounds like
not
a
possible.
worthy thing to aspire to.
And this morning I was thinking I'm gonna like 100% Elden Ring, and then I had a
Good luck
look
with
and it
that.
was like, yeah, and then I looked at the how many trophies I had and it was like 18%.
Oh shit.
18%. I've been playing. I've got like over 100 hours in this thing. 18%. What the hell? Oh man, I've only got like 11 bronze trophies and one silver, and there's all these gold ones. What are the gold ones? I don't even know. Anyway, painful.
All right, we have a lot of chatter we got to
We
catch up on, I
do.
think.
We do, but they're talking about how to get horseless carriage for cheap.
Ah,
So I'll,
you
I'll,
can't
I'll
get it
look
for
at that
cheap, man.
after this.
Are they trying to do a mass buy or something?
Yeah, maybe they're colluding. There's something to be said about digging deep into a game or any content really and discovering all it has to offer and getting good at it. 100%. I agree.
Yeah,
As you said, Mo, this used to be the way of things when we were kids, as you had so few games and squeezed every last drop out of those suckers. Yeah,
that was part of the part of
totally.
the thing. It was what made games good.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
there's satisfaction that comes from that, from, like you said, from not only getting good at something, but just knowing something
In and
inside
out,
and out,
being more than a noob.
figuring out all its layers, its juicy
Hmm.
innards, like you're doing with your crazy Yishion 3-hour
Yeah,
streams.
yeah. And I have 100 hours into Yishion already.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got 100 hours in
Already?
it. Yeah, I've already got 100 hours.
Yeah, that's because you're not sleeping anymore because you're just
I
playing that
know.
game.
It's hard to sleep. It's such a good
Mm.
game. It's competing for my attention, my sleep attention. Can I go off on a tangent real quick?
Yep.
This is completely unrelated. Okay, so I've got this thing lately that I've been bitching about like crazy with my friends, about with other friends, about the attachment of people. When people talk about reviewing things or they talk about how they feel about things, they're not putting in the human factor in it. And they're not like, this is half formed thoughts. So bear with me here.
Okay.
So if I say, my favorite game in the world is, and I give you the game, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
released in the last 2 months, 3 months, right? My favorite game just happened to exist right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like you're not putting in the human factor is you have a short attention span. That
Right.
is why you said that. Like it's not your actual favorite game that ever existed. It's your favorite game right now because you can't think far enough back, you know. So this goes
Yeah,
along the
or
line.
you just get like sometimes you get hooked onto something and you think it's gonna be like up there. Like I'm currently there kind of in Frosthaven. Maybe that'll get into my top 10. Like I'm loving it, but you don't actually really know. You got to proceed with caution. Maybe not. Like you've got to think about there's so many like things you don't think about. You think about, the nostalgia value, what you were doing at the time when you were playing it, like how it made you feel, all that stuff. It takes a while to form in your mind all those things. So it's not until a game is kind of behind you a little bit, generally. Like for example, I would say Skyrim is like one that I thought immediately was amazing, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is like going to be one of my favorite games of all time. And now and it stuck there. It actually stuck there. And like I think about it now and I think about everything that was happening in my life when I was playing this game and how it actually affected my life playing this game and how much I loved it and had talked about it with people that, loved it as well. And,
Mm-hmm.
like that sort of thing, they're not, yeah, like you said, they're not thinking about that. There's more, there's like,
Immediacy.
yeah.
And that's why the board game community seems very fickle because my favorite game is the latest hotness. We played the hell out of it. Now we're not talking about it anymore. So like, let's say I don't get a game in the first print run. I'm like freaking out trying to buy a copy. I'm spending extra money or trying to find someone to sell their copy, whatever. And then if I miss that window where everybody's playing it, nobody's talking about it anymore. And then
Mm.
it's not the game's fault, but the game gets shelved, or I might not want to play it because no one's talking about it. Everyone's talking about this new game, so if I want to be up on the news or interact with it outside of actually playing it on a board, if I want to interact with it on like Twitter or whatever, I just have to follow what everybody's talking about, and so it just makes the board game community seem very, very fickle. It's like,
It's
it's
not,
like,
it's not the game's fault that there was crazy hype,
no,
right?
it's not.
But it,
It's
but it's,
not.
but it is the game's fault that it didn't outlast the hype.
I
I
disagree
would
with
say.
that. I think
I
that's
would say
I think
that
that's the community's
amazing
fault.
things, really, I would say that amazing things will outlast the hype and people. will want to play them down the line and still talk about them.
I don't think so. I'd like to think so, but I don't think so. I really don't think so because I can think of like we played what was it, Carnegie. Carnegie deserves to still be hyped compared to some of the other stuff I've seen, and it's not nearly as hyped as it should be.
No, it's not hyped, but it is talked about. I see, like, I saw a post just yesterday on it, and we played yesterday as well. So people are still playing it and they're still
Mm.
enjoying it. But yeah, I think all that, I think you're getting also mixed in with like the marketing buzz that happens that's not really community. It might sometimes seem like it's community, but
See,
these
I
are
think
people
that's
that
that.
probably have investment somewhere. They're getting like a kickback or they got a free copy or something like that factor is hard to take out of the whole hype
See,
train,
I
way
disagree. I
train.
think that's the community. The board game scene is everyone who's playing games at their own pace. The board game community is the vocal minority who
I'd
talks
say that's the
about
industry. I would put it as the industry. But all right,
well they
fine. You're saying it's the community. I'm saying the
yeah
community is us who are playing it, and we're still
we're the
playing it.
scene. I don't know if we're really
All
the
right, we're the
community.
scene. We're on the scene. We're
It would
playing
be
it
like
still.
it'd be the equivalent of following the top 10 music charts and only listening to whatever made it in the top 10 that week.
Yeah.
And if something stayed in there for that week, actually, you know what? The music industry might even be less fickle than we are.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's probably pretty close, I'd say. So Chris is saying, damn, I should have jumped on it. Oh, Chris is they're all talking
Mate's
about
not
like the cheaper version of Horse's Garage, how to get it cheap. As you said, Mo, it used to be this way of things when we were kids. Yeah, yeah, blah blah. $200 at More Than Meeples. Oh wow. Okay.
there it is.
Maybe I will get Horse's Garage, babe. Okay. I don't know, man. I got Mage Knight within the last couple of months, and it's way up there for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
that's cool.
Mate's Night doesn't
Mage
fall into
Knight's
the
his
hype.
exception?
It no, no, no. It's not being hyped right now. If
No,
you're
but it's
playing
new
an
to
old
him.
game,
It's new to him.
right?
So.
But you're playing an old game that's been vetted. I would say you're not playing something that's like everyone's talking about within the community or the scene or whoever. You're talking about things that something that's liked by a few people, and you know that's like a better way to be brought into a game for me.
You know what I think this is, Mo? I think that we have different perception of things because you see a lot more hype than me. It affects you more. Whereas I actually have like a filter and I don't see that sort of hype stuff and I don't look and I'm not interested in those kind of games.
I wish I
What
didn't
I
have to
do
look.
see, is when someone posts like a picture of, oh, this is an older game, like it might look like an older game, or they say it's an older game, or I haven't played this in years and whatever, and then that's when I look and I pay attention to those things. So I
Oh,
notice those things and I'm like, yes, someone is playing this
well,
older game. I want to know what that is, because
when
that
you
is how
run
you truly know.
a group that's like 70,000 people, you tend to see uh cyclical advertising. So it's all the same.
Yeah, you got to learn to
It's
tune it out like I do. I just tune that shit out.
it's hard for me.
Yeah, it's like Arc Nova, just don't even see it. I don't even see Arc Nova anymore.
It's kind of
If
old
someone
now.
holds up the box, it's like they're just holding air. Okay, so Chris says, I see hype and it makes me wary why I waited this long to get Mage Knight actually. Mage Knight hyped.
We'll sell
Oh,
another
I hope I
copy.
didn't hype it. I really hope I didn't hype
I
it
wanted
because
to
I don't want
get
to be one of these that like, oh, it's amazing. I just want
it
to
is. It
talk
is
about how much
amazing.
I,
It's a
yeah,
top
but I
10
want to talk
game.
about how much I adore it, but I don't want to make it hypey.
Hmm.
I
I
want to
wish I could
actually
sell my copy and get the ultimate edition. You know, the single
really just
box.
because it's
Yeah.
all in one box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so OG
Meh.
to have the full
I don't I don't
four,
need
like they're all different shapes and sizes and
I don't need
so
that for
crazy.
clout. I just use my personality.
Oh wow.
Your clout is that you have like
Yes,
different
babe.
shaped boxes and stuff, and they all.
Yeah, that's my cloud. Different shape of it. Do you think board game hype has become much more prevalent since Kickstarter and crowdfunding?
Yes, 100%. In fact, that's where for me things started going really bad.
Well, yeah, because they like literally have to build hype to get anywhere because they're not a product yet. They're nothing. They're nothing but hype. That's all they can
Right.
do is market. They can
Which
only
was
market. So
fine in the early days when it was actually about an individual's project that was not able to go through the industry traditional routes, and they believed in their project and you believed in the person. It's completely different now that it's a it's a way that a company doesn't have to take the risk to print something. You put up the risk for them. You pay for it up front. There's no risk involved. They print it and they send it. The only risk is whether you will come back as a customer, but the company churn is so much. Like if you're working as an advertising as a marketing person for one company, in 3 months you can be working for another company. The churn is so high that the company doesn't even look the same within the end of the year. So in my experience with the people that I've had to deal with is it's one, you're not dealing with the same company, so they really don't have any risk. They just put it on Kickstarter and they have to hype it. And since it's companies and they have more money to put behind it, it just it looks really really bad. And I think the Train Rush is going to put out a podcast about the whole thing. It's going to be like 4 or 5 hours long, but it's going to be interesting to hear what they have to say about this whole hype thing.
That will be interesting because, like, I mean, there is some slight risks. Like, it's pretty hard to bounce back from a crappy Kickstarter. I know that you were saying that the Barrage one kind of was a bit shit, and even
It was,
despite the
but
game, like Lyndon didn't want to back the
their next
next
game,
the next one, the
but
next
it did
Coin Game
back,
one.
didn't it? Fund.
It did.
It
That's
did
true.
fund.
It
It
did
did
fund with
fund.
or without Lyndon. But
Yeah, with or without Linden.
Harry
You still
said
have
he
to do
still
right.
hasn't played Ark Nova because of all of its hype. Oh man, that's crazy.
You're a
Chris
good
said
man, Harry. I have much respect.
oh, he
Much
still
respect.
bought it. He's still got
Oh
three
well, then
copies of it.
no, then
He just hasn't played it.
so I haven't cracked the shrink because everybody's hyping it.
I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
that's true.
save the sandwich until I feel like eating it. I still have the sandwich ready though.
Harry's like, what? I don't have it. I'm kidding, Harry. So Chris said, Sarah, you're one of the reasons why I did get it. Yay. I think community hype is different to friends talking about games they like and why.
True,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. I just hope that I didn't hype it because we do those top 10 episodes like on Board Game BBQ, and it's a little bit hard for it not to come out that way
Mm,
because these are your games that you do really love, and so you end up just kind of yeah being all soppy and like, oh, it's so amazing, just get it.
well,
And you don't have time to actually say anything real about the game. It's
right.
just it's really good, I love it, it's my number
Uh,
one game, go get it, go buy it now.
yeah, that's like the thing I do is like I'll listen to somebody's top 10. If in their top 10, 3 or 4 of the games are brand new, I'm
Yeah,
very iffy. And if 50% are brand new, like in the last year, I probably won't look at their top 10 anymore. But if they
yeah,
have, if there's a generous heap of from all eras,
yeah.
then and if I respect them, I'll probably buy all the games on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to crack a new game into your top 10 because of all those
Hmm.
things that I said before, all the experiences you've had playing it,
Like
how much you've
Autobahn,
learned it, how much you've explored it.
Autobahn is going to probably make my top 25, probably,
Yeah.
and I'll be surprised if Horseless Carriage doesn't.
Bus got into my top 10.
Yeah, same here.
Oh my God. Well,
So good.
it's freaking hilarious too.
But if you tell
I
me
really
that
did
it
crack it
edged
up.
out the cost, that's it. Divorce.
What?
If
If
you
I tell
say
you
it
what?
edged out the cost,
Yeah, the cost is out. It's out.
divorce.
Jay says use the hype before it fizzles to sell your copy of Ark
There you
Nova.
go. There you go.
You
There
got to
you
sell
go.
those 3 copies of Ark Nova, Harry. I only got
Although,
into the hobby like 2 years ago, so now I'm just experiencing all the old Euros that have lasted the test of time. That is a good move, Harry.
yeah, Hansa Teutonica, the big box, get it. It's
Yep.
awesome. Um, I would say that in America the market's saturated with $10 copies of Ark Nova, so you're not getting anywhere in America with it. I hope you get somewhere over there. Because we had that Barnes and Noble sale where they were like $10 each, and people were buying 5 and 6 copies.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot
So
about
right
that.
now we're flush.
Harry said that he bought the big box of Hansa.
Nice,
I haven't played it.
nice.
Yeah,
It's so good.
he's calling
It's
me out here.
clean,
I haven't played it.
easy, clean, good.
Yeah.
Not as mean as it needs to be, but it's good. It's good Euro.
So tell us about Carnegie, babe. I told you yesterday. How was the teach? Did you enjoy it?
The
Tell
teach
me
was good.
everything.
Actually, the teach was good. I was impressed with the teach. Um, I learned it pretty quickly. I'm for someone who has low aptitude. I learned it pretty quickly. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was all over the place. I like the game a lot. I think that the game is once you get a handle on the mechanisms, I think it's very easy. It's a very simple game. It's still medium Euro though. Like it's medium weight Euro. I wish I would have played it sooner. It was really good. I don't want to really talk about mechanisms because I hate doing that. There seems some. It seems like some like those little buildings that come out of the side thing.
Yeah.
That they could have just done something just more Euro-y than that. Like just have a fucking a, uh, chart or something. I would have been much more happier. But
Do
I'm
you
not
reckon
the
that's a
market for that
TTS
game.
thing though, or not?
What's
It's
that?
gonna be easier in person.
I'd still rather just have a chart.
Okay.
You know, that's it. I don't want any funky little things. You don't need that for me. I just want it to be simple.
It's too fancy for you.
Too fancy. I don't like fancy. Artwork is really cool once I understood everything. At first,
I
it was a little
yeah.
daunting. In the first 5 minutes, I was drowning in it. I was like, "What the
Really?
fuck did Ian do?" And then whenever I picked up on it, like everything made sense. I was like, "This is classic Ian." Like once you figure it out, boom, it's so simple.
Yeah, but you said it right. You said that this is the only game that Ian's done the graphics for, and it looks more. He made it look more complex than it is, instead of the other way around. Because it
Right.
does, like, it looks like there's a lot going on, but the game's actually only medium weight. It's not
Yeah,
that
but
heavy.
as soon as you
It just
understand
looks
his
so
iconography,
fancy.
as
Yeah,
soon as you understand it, though, it like boom,
yeah,
it's just so easy to figure out.
yeah.
So
That's true.
within his style, once you pick up on his style in this game, it becomes easy. But it looked like a mountain, a
Maybe
mountain
that's
of
just a
information.
mental thing, because we know that he does heavy games usually, and so it's like, I don't know, just this automatic thing in your brain that's like, ooh, Ian artwork, Ian graphics, that must be heavy.
Hmm.
It's not.
I was just having a hard time understanding what the fuck are we talking about.
You were
I
doing
think you did
so
a good
well for
teach.
a while though. Oh, thanks, babe. I'm glad. I was, it's at one point you were like, I don't understand any of that. Start again. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
but I was able to ask you. I don't think that you like in my game group it wasn't thorough enough, but I'm not part of that. I could use very basics and get into the game
Mm-hmm.
because I don't
Yeah.
expect to do well the first time, so it's okay for me. But in my
Okay.
game group, they would have been so pissed off.
Would they? Oh
Yeah,
no.
they want all the rules, all of the
Right.
rules, all the exceptions, everything up
Oh
front.
gosh. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't do that. I'm not a walking rule book. I just
Yeah,
can't
that's what they
understand
want.
anything.
They would rather you pull out the rule book and read from the rule book if that was the case.
Harry was telling me this funny story last night. So I'm telling a story for you, Harry. He does like a weekly game night with Jeff and Connor from the Board Game
Hmm.
BBQ, and it was his turn to teach something, and he he spent like 3 hours preparing and like writing notes, and like he had like
Holy
pages of,
shit. Like he's going to
yeah,
do a YouTube video or something?
right,
Uh huh.
and 3 hours to prepare for
Hmm.
it, and apparently he did it, and Def started to try and interrupt him and asking questions. He's like, no, I got this. I'm going to cover everything. And he smashed it at the end. Def was like, that was a very comprehensive teach, Harry. And I think I need to do that. I need to do this preparation thing because I don't, and I probably should.
For me, the preparation would be just play it. If me and you played something
Yeah.
once or twice, I could teach it no problem, everything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't do it from the rules. I can read the rules 100 times and it ain't going to help me. I
Yeah.
can't teach it.
Yeah. There's always some stuff I'm going to miss. I just have that, you know, I like to think I have that ability to pay attention to small details, but maybe I don't
I think you
really.
do, but I think that, okay, so not meant to be harsh criticism.
Oh, God.
Here it goes.
Oh, no.
Here's where we get pissed off and start throwing shit at the. Um,
I'm just going to put my finger near the hang up just in case. Okay. Tell me now.
okay, so I think that you have a lot of empathy for the players, maybe too much for what's going on in the rules.
I'm
You're
too
like,
nice.
I don't want you to drown in the rules, and
So I
they're
won't teach them to you.
yeah. So I won't teach you all the
I
rules.
won't
I'll
teach
just
you
teach you
to,
how much
yeah.
I think you can handle.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you're dumber than this. I think you're too dumb to
That
know all the
is
rules right now.
right. I'm not going to hang up on you. That's 100% fair. And that is what I do. Yep.
Right. And I think it'd be better to give them everything and let them filter out what they don't want to listen to. Like me, I'll just filter it out. You're just like, la, 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 la. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're
No,
saying.
you actually are 100% correct. And it's because I have, like we have the game days. And even in the past, I've tried to get like friends that, um, weren't really gamers to play and things like
Hmm.
that. So I have really wanted to try and just get it going and like not overburden them with rules. So yes, the
Hmm.
complete opposite of like your game group, complete
Yeah.
opposite. So I've just obviously become, that's sort of become third nature,
Hmm.
second nature, third nature. No, that's too
Second.
many natures. It's true, that's not that many natures. Yeah, second nature to me to just sort of try and let's just play and everything's gonna be fine.
Right.
Don't
It's
worry.
you almost have to give somebody like a checklist. Like before I teach you the game, let's talk about the type of learner you are. And then like especially
Yeah,
as the
it's
deeper
not
you
a
get
bad
into
idea.
games, the more you're gonna find people who want like I would assume like Anna would want to know all the rules.
Yeah, she
Very
does want to
thorough.
know. She does want to know all the rules, but she also
But
interrupts
I
me
am
as I'm
not telling
teaching
you.
the rules.
Too bad. I
Is
have
she
all the
here? Is she
control. I'm gonna
she
gatekeep the rules.
is she listening right now? I don't know.
Apparently
I better
not.
not say anything.
Uh,
No, no. But dice realms when I was trying to teach her, there was so many. She wasn't even listening to me. Okay. No, but so like I went to that CanCon. No, not CanCon. Comic Con, and it was
okay.
like people that didn't play board games, and it was like really simple games, and I was
Oh yeah,
just
yeah. There you're probably
I'm
playing the
ready
room
for
right.
that sort of thing. I can just go,
Yeah.
right, let's just here it is. We're gonna do
I
this. It's
think
a
you're
word
playing the
game.
room right.
Yeah. But just when I go back to teaching you, I should remember to
Not me.
play
I don't
everything.
care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
lose the first game anyway. I don't give a shit.
There was a couple of times though that I was like, oh wait, there's this other rule yesterday.
Yeah, for me
A
it's
couple of
fine.
minor things.
It's for me it's fine. I'm just playing the first game as a I'm losing. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I really
Let's
don't expect to win, so I
babe,
don't
let's
care.
just play every game once.
No. Hell no. I'm done. We got a lot of chatter we got to catch up on, I think.
Yes, okay.
Maybe.
Jay says all the rules up front, like a Matrix skill chip download. Yeah, I
Oh
don't.
man.
That's not me. I don't think that's me. I need. I'm a visual learner. I'd rather just play. I would love to just play around of the game, figure it out.
Mm.
That would be ideal for me, but no one has that kind of time, I guess. Jay says I've been spoilt by video game tutorials. I like to learn about things when I need that info and can use it immediately. Harry said 100%. Love me a good learn to play or walk through. I think I have limited onboard RAM.
Yeah, see, like right within this, the people that we're talking to, like you have two different types of learning right there. And one of those, okay, so here's the bad part is you do a disservice by to the most amount of people by not teaching all the rules. So let's say I have a limited up band. Do you just teach them and not give out all the information, or do you let them filter out their own information? Because the people who want to know all the rules, like they're the not the lowest common denominator, but if you're looking at fairness, it's the most unfair to keep information than it is to give them too much information.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say with
That's the
gamers,
part.
you're right. With gamers, they need to know everything.
And
Okay.
I'm advocating for someone I'm not. I'm the opposite. I don't want to know anything.
I'm
I just want to play.
gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got, babe? So you liked it. You liked Carnegie, but you were like,
Yes. I
it's
loved
medium.
Carnegie. It was really good.
It's medium.
It was it was
Could have been
something I
better.
would definitely play again, want to play again, except I really want to teach you Audubon as soon as we can. But I would skip that for 18CZ, but then I would say probably you need to read a video, watch a video first.
Hmm.
But I could teach Carnegie Audubon no problem
Yeah,
anytime.
cool. Awesome.
All right. So, is there any more chatter or anything? Oh, that was just a
No.
RAM thing. We're
You
at
got
an
anything else?
hour. Do you want to call or do you want me to? I've got more questions in my phone that I can always bring out.
Yeah, yeah. Give us a question. One more
All right.
question. Let's do it.
All right.
What
Let's see if
else
I
you got?
got any good ones. Probably not. Probably really
I
bad
hope that
ones.
everyone that's in the chat. uh, heard the quicksand porn part of this conversation because that
Well,
was the most
you should
interesting part.
reiterate the quicksand porn.
Chris is like, more questions, please.
Okay, so this is not a question. This is a statement. That
Oh,
okay, so uh, one of the first times I played with Lyndon, roommate, uh, we did play. I did play Munchkin. The only time I've ever played Munchkin, and I said I'd never play Munchkin, and I ended up playing it
oh,
that one time because I was trying to get a group started, right?
right.
So the next thing I
You
threw
sell
out
out.
was Dominant Species, and it was Sink or Swim. I was like, I'm gonna weed out the weak here. I'm gonna put it out there, and if they struggle too much, done. I'll
this is
never
kind of
text you back.
this is kind of related to what we were just talking about.
Right. So
So
this
you
is
didn't, yeah,
I taught a thorough teach. I just did sink or swim. You're gonna either play this and
yeah,
love it, or you're out. You're not part of my game group.
yeah,
So, in my opinion, you should, if you're looking at to recruit people for your game group, is to go ahead and just throw out what you're gonna play.
yeah.
Like not play the hour euro that you kind of put as a filler. You got to weed out the weak, in my opinion.
You are 100% on this. 100%. Why? You're going to get stuck in a game group
Hmm.
playing games that you don't want to play and you're going to be sad the whole time. You might have a bunch of new friends, but that's not what this hobby is about. It's really about the games.
It's
And you're going to be stuck playing games you don't want to play. So don't do that. Play the games that you are like, the games that you want to play, even if it's with horrible people. Eventually, you will find people that want to play it.
I mean,
No,
of
I'm
course, you got
kidding.
to make compromises sometimes,
Right.
but you should
You,
make your opinion. I'm not. Don't be an asshole, but you should make your opinion known. So, like, when we were done, I said, "Look, that's probably the only time I'll ever play Munchkin. I'll never play Munchkin again, and I only played it to get you guys to play Dominant Species. That was it. And if you guys want
that
to
is
play
hilarious.
Munchkin, don't call me because I don't want to come back for that
Oh
shit."
wow, that's so harsh. That's so funny. Chris said I played Munchkin for the first time at uni. I was taught badly and sucked. It put me off games for a while. Didn't discover Catan until a couple of years later. Yeah, I had a funny experience with Munchkin too, where like
Oh
my
no, we're well,
my
like
sister in law
we all
basically
experimented.
stormed out of the
What?
room. Yeah, she was pissed. She was real pissed.
Who
She
brought it
was.
to the table?
I think my dad had it. Yeah, it was my
Hmm.
dad. Because I
Hmm.
used to play games with my dad a lot,
So what
and
happened?
he had it. We were just playing it. We thought it was really funny. Like we were laughing. We were like, "Ah, this is horrible, isn't it? How horrible is this?" Beck thought it was funny until someone did something horrible to her, and she was like, "Nah, fuck this, I'm out." And she
No shit.
stormed out. It was pretty funny, but yeah. After that, I was like, "Yeah, I don't think we don't need to play that again."
Yeah.
There's better than that out there.
I was living on the hype of how like it had negative hype. Like Munchkin
Yeah,
has negative hype
it
amongst
does.
board gamers. So
Does
I
that
was
attract
living
you?
off
Does it attract? Does do you get
no.
attracted by negative hype? I do a little bit.
Depends on the type. If you're gonna
Yeah,
say that game's too heavy, that game is complex for complexity's sake, if you say anything that turns somebody off because of things like that or it's too fiddly,
yeah,
that's fine. I'll play it. I
yeah,
want to play it. If
yeah. Like it's too
Tom
weird. It's
not
too
enough
hard to
theme,
learn. All these things. Yeah, it's
if Tom
ugly.
Vassal
I'm
doesn't
like,
like
oh,
it,
tell me more about it. Yeah,
yeah,
If Tom Vassal threw a game off the roof, I would be
I'll go get it.
extremely
I'll go
interested.
get it.
Yeah. No, I was only kidding about that whole play games that you want to play even with horrible people. But you did make a really valid point there because if you do present games that you actually like, you won't become part of a group that don't have the same taste as you. And I think that's important. And I think it's kind of sad because I don't know if I've told this story before, but our weekly game group has three dry Euro players, and then poor James
Yeah.
who likes mini games and stuff like that. And he's like there with, his box nemesis, and he's like, "Can we please play this?" And we're all just like, I don't want to. So James is stuck in that. He's stuck in the group that he doesn't want to be in, really.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
After you read that, I have something.
Okay.
If there's anything.
So yeah. So Jay said this is hitting home big time. Chris says definitely compromise sometimes, but when you don't enjoy something, say so. He also said there is a bunch of games in my collection that certain people in the group don't like and will only play them when they aren't there, mostly.
Now,
Actually,
who
I
said
still
that?
own Conan, Chris. Actually, I still own Conan Munchkin because I love Conan, but it's out of sight, out of mind. I should probably get rid of it. Don't get me
Yeah.
started on Tam Vassal. That's the only episode of the Board Game BBQ I did not enjoy.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
well, apparently, like, I haven't even listened to it because
Mhm.
of reasons. I'm
Reasons.
not a Tom Vassal fan because of
Hmm.
reasons. But apparently, it was the most awkward. How long has he been doing videos and interviews and all this stuff? Apparently, he was the most awkward guest ever, and there was just like
Tension.
huge pauses, so uncomfortable. Everyone was uncomfortable. But yes, he was
Okay,
on it. It's
so
one of our most downloaded episodes.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Um, Probably mostly on the Tom Vassell side, I would assume. Like people wanting to search up Tom Vassell and he was on a
Yeah. Oh
podcast or
yeah,
what? Maybe,
100% because he's on it.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Um, okay, so Chris brought up something interesting, but I
Mm.
forgot what it was before the Conan thing because
Oh,
I got lost in the Conan
he
thing
the
because I'm a
Conan because
Conan
you love
fan too. I
Conan.
love Conan. I
He loves
love fucking
Conan.
Conan.
We'll just be talking on the phone, and like he's like, that reminds me of Conan.
I love Conan. Conan the Barbarian is
It
amazing.
always relates. Everything relates back to Conan in some way. Okay, so he said there are a bunch of games in my collection that certain people in the group
Oh, okay.
don't
So
like, and we'll play them.
goes to that thing is
Mm.
get in a game group. Everybody gets a choice and you have to play it and you don't have to necessarily enjoy it, but you shouldn't poop on the game. This is just my opinion. You shouldn't poop on the game. Play the best that you can. And if you don't like it, just humor them because that's what they're going to have to do for yours. I
Yeah,
don't think it's fair to be in a game group where I can't play certain games, but at the same time, everybody should know what is in there. And they should probably bring the best from their genre. Like if I like dudes on a map game, I shouldn't bring the wussy, raunchy ones. I need to bring the good ones.
yeah,
Try to change your view, maybe. The ones with all the minis, not just a couple of the minis.
yeah.
Um,
Harry said, I love Conan. He did a series on Armenia. Not Conan O'Brien, Conan the Barbarian.
that Conan's all
I
right too,
do
though.
like Conan O'Brien, though. I listen to his podcast sometimes. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to do it.
No,
Wish I
Mo
could.
doesn't like him.
No, I didn't. It's not that I don't
Disagree with
like them.
Conan. Well, you're not a fan of. Anyway, we're not talking about Conan. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, so we do the same thing actually, Chris. Like in when James isn't coming, like we were trying to organize a game night for tonight, but it failed. But we were trying to organize one for tonight. James couldn't come, so we were like, "Oh my god, I've got the best game for it. It's the most depressing looking game. It's so dry. It's the new Cole one, babe, in the Cole
Mm-hmm.
trilogy." Yeah, that's what
Are y'all
we're
playing
going
it
to play.
tonight?
No, we tried
No.
to organize a game night. We
Oh.
couldn't. And
Oh.
then, yeah, it ended up no one was available anyway. But initially it was just James that couldn't come. And so I was like, right, we're going to play the dry shit tonight. Let's do it, kind of thing.
That's funny.
So, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I always find that okay, so we've had this discussion before within our game group. We always talk about how it's all about the games. It's not about the games. It's really about the friendships, but you also want to have like there's a meeting point, It's like let's say if it's 50-50, 50-50 dry euro and good people. Like a dry euro with a person you slightly don't like, you could kind of do it in a dry euro with the game you don't really like with but the people you kind of like, you can kind of do, but at a certain point, like we had a guy, and there's just a certain point where no matter how good the game was, it couldn't make up for his personality. It just couldn't do it. So it's like
That is
the
so funny.
best game. He ruined so many games that we have to go back and play them to see if they really were bad or
Or whether it was
if
him.
it was him.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's so
Oh
funny.
yeah. He made good games feel horrible, and that's something to know. Don't make good games feel horrible. Be aware of your environment. Leave the game group if you have to.
Yeah, I really hope I've never been that person for someone. I hope I've never ruined ruined a good game for
I'm pretty
someone.
sure that I've stopped people from coming back.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I
Because
won't
you were so
stop
mean.
cussing. I
Right.
I don't stop cussing.
You were
I will
wearing
talk
the
shit.
you were wearing the muff shirt.
I'll wear shirts that are offensive. I will joke around with you like if I know you.
Right.
I'll have a good time. I'm having a good time. This is my game group. This is what I do. I'm not going to act like I'm not at my house. It's like the
Right.
equivalent of if you're the type of person who puts your foot in your mouth and you chew off your toenails, you're going to do that with when you have company too. Just do it. It's your house.
That is really gross.
It is gross. I've heard
So
stories about that.
gross.
It's gross.
Well, I mean, so Jules posted. I showed you this, didn't I? Jules
Did you?
posted a photo of like CanCon, and I was
Oh
just like,
yeah, the no
I like
shoes.
zoomed in to try and
No
see if
shoes.
I knew anyone, and then I see this dirty foot, this like dirty naked foot, and I'm like, why is there? What's going on? And then you can see the rolled up socks under the table and the shoes. I'm like,
Ugh.
why would you? You're at a convention. Put your fucking shoes on.
It's
Like,
pretty
what the
gross.
hell?
It's pretty gross.
Oh, but how did the feet get so dirty? If he was wearing shoes and socks before, how did they get so dirty? I want to know.
That's why it was what do you call it whenever frostbite had to air out the frostbite.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Chris says, "Oh my god, you need footwear in public." Jeez. And the other funny one was when we were at PAX, where we're teaching games on the board game barbecue tables, and then someone sat real close to us and put up their foot on the table, not on
Sweet.
one of the board game barbecue tables. Thank
Sweet.
God. They took off their shoe and their sock, and they started like it was like they were flossing. It was like they were polishing their foot, actually. You know, like you
That's
polish your
pretty
shoe, and they
sweet.
were polishing their foot with their sock, with their dirty sock. What are they doing?
That is a winning strategy. Imagine playing against somebody like that. It would be like
Yeah, yeah,
impossible to
yeah,
win. I would
yeah.
be like just so focused on that problem. I
Right.
couldn't win. There's no way.
That's
I couldn't
tournament
beat them.
behavior all the
Yeah,
way.
that's
That
tournament
person you're playing
behavior.
against is just going to go, "Yep, I'm out. You
Yeah,
can have
that's
it. I don't want it that bad.
extra
I just don't
extra
want
meta
it."
right there. Extra meta. Let me look at my list real quick.
It's a desperate cry for attention, I think. There's, there's no way you're doing that and you don't want people to see it. Like, you obviously want people to see it for some reason. I don't know why.
um okay. So, let's say you have a black eye. I don't know why you have a black eye. But let's say you have a black eye, and
Okay.
do you personally, well, however you got the black eye, maybe you fell down, I don't
Is
know,
this the
or
dog's pushing you over again? It's just
yeah,
the
or
dog's
Ren
pushed
was
you
reaching her arm
down the
out and it
stairs.
hit you in the eye, or you get almost run over by some crazy dude in a car and he beats you up, whatever it is.
Right.
Do you go to the tournament with a black eye? You're not hosting it. You're just going to the tournament. Like at what point, like everyone's gonna ask. They're gonna look at
Right.
your eye and say, "Hey, what happened to your eye,
You might get
buddy?"
there might be some kind of sympathy, you know? They might play a little, they might go easier on you. I would go for sure. That's actually a
You'd
really
go
good
with the black
strategy
eye.
too. Yeah. I think that's better
Brooke,
than the foot strategy,
you
to
think
be
so?
honest.
Black eye?
I think so.
I
I
would
think
take
so.
it worse on you. It's like you
What?
obviously
A
can't take a
woman with a
punch.
black eye? A woman comes in with a black eye. You're not
Put
going
a
to
patch
try
on
and.
that, Missy.
I think I'd be pretty sweet, I think. I think I'd do well.
Okay,
People would be like,
so
I don't want to win against her.
I have this thing where I overcompensate for that thing. Like, okay, so I've been in game groups before where they'll bring like a girl will come for the first time and they all overcompensate because there's never been a girl there before and they start treating her really well.
Yeah.
I go the opposite direction. I'm like, she's a normal person in here. In fact, we need to treat her worse. We need to treat new people
It's so
worse.
horrible. That is so bad.
Trial
Did you
by
just say
fire,
that?
baby. Trial
I
by
think we need to
fire.
cut. We need to cut.
No, not in a
Oh
sexist way,
my
but it's
god.
like they offer
But
better
she is the
trades
only
if.
woman there. So whether you
Well, no,
it's,
okay, she's the
it
only
is
woman,
being
and
sexist if
everybody's
you're saying
offering
her words.
extra sheep, or I'll throw in some wheat for you. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? You guys don't do that. This is not the way we play. You're giving an advantage to a player, so I've got to compensate for everybody's. Are like, I'm not trading with you. Everyone else is giving you everything. Not fair. Not fair.
Yeah, I hate all those not fair sort of dynamics. I don't like. I hate playing with a couple that's in
Well,
love
see,
and gets
we have the
frustrated.
opposite problem is that we would be so interested in making sure each other doesn't win that
Yeah,
we
everyone
give
else
other
can get
people.
away with murder.
It's like I like this couple. They don't. They're
Yeah.
like get them together. Like instead of like split them apart, it's like get them together in the same game so we have it.
Yeah,
They'll eliminate each
thrilling
other.
to me. I know it's thrilling to me. It's thrilling
To
to me to try and take you down. I don't know why.
no, no. Here's what's fucked up is when we were playing Corrupt City, you were getting happy at me getting screwed over by other people.
Oh yeah, that
It
too.
wasn't even you screwing me over. It was other people. It's like, oh yeah, do that to Mo. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
the
No,
fuck?
the best was when we were playing Pilgrim with Harry. That was the
Oh,
ultimate.
you suck.
That was the fucking best. And then I was just like, Harry, you can do this. You can buy my stone and then buy that building before Mo does. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Boom,
I
done.
tried to act like
And
that
that
wasn't
I think.
demoralizing, but that fucking I was pretty pissed.
Oh man, that
That,
was amazing. I felt
that
so good. It's still the glow of it is still
why do
like
you
making me
enjoy
happy.
hurting me?
I think I think it's because you you know you're mean to me in games, so it's like
I'm
it's just
never
a
mean to
revenge
you.
thing. I like revenge. What can I say?
I
What do
think
you mean
we
you're
have.
never mean to me?
I'm
Oh,
never
I
mean to
think
you.
that's perfectly normal. My partner does that to me all the time. Haha, feels so good when you win anyway. Yeah, he beat me in this too. He still beat me in Pilgrim.
I did better than you.
Oh, you know why? You know why it felt so good that particular time? Because of that first player bullshit in that game. The first player bullshit that meant that it was meant to be going back and forth between us, but then you made me go first so that then it defaulted to you. And I was just about to, you knew that I was planning on buying that building, babe. And I
I
will
did.
never forgive you. I'll never
So
forgive you
it's
for it.
always a bad sign if you see me go. Let me see the rules. You know that it's bad if I say that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking
If
for
you say
some
that,
little.
there's no fucking way. I'll burn it right there. I'll just burn that rule book straight
Because it was
away.
that time, and then the other time, whenever you had to count and it was like too long, that was the other time I go. Let me see the rules, please.
Oh, it was so horrible. It still hurts
Uh,
me. It still hurts me.
I hope
If
so.
we get married, you can just like put the tile of that building in a little jewelry box and just be like, here you go, and then just let me have that building forever. That would be nice. Thank you. That's what I want. That's all I want.
That's funny.
Oh, that was so. You were so horrible. You were so horrible in that game.
It was awesome.
Mm. And it was legally horrible. That's the other. That's the thing that hurt the most. You know, it was
I got to
totally
play by the
legit.
rules, baby.
Yeah. Stupid Pilgrim. Don't like that game anymore. I'm over it. What other questions you got? Anything
Any
else?
more from the thing? And I was thinking about like, okay, so like the BGG rating thing isn't that great for the average person. Like for me, I would rather have a Rotten Tomatoes score like that's just community based, that is not as funky as. I guess there's just people that ruin the BGG scoring.
Yeah.
You know, like those people that just go and just give it a 1 to be an asshole or just
Yeah.
give it a 10 because they know the guy. There's so much of that going on that I really look at the. I don't trust the BGG rating. I'll trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't trust BGG scoring. Like, that's
It
weird.
that is weird. I disagree with you. I do trust it, and I think it's something that it's a very long term process over a long time and a lot of vote. You have to look at how many votes it's had. If it's had a shit ton of votes, then it's okay. It's pretty safe.
When you look at the top 100, well, then I just don't align with the top 100 games on BGG, and I align with Rotten Tomatoes like pretty well.
Hmm.
Like it's weird to align with Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean, it's a bigger sample size, but still, some of the stuff that I like that's really obscure or whatever, it'll have this high Rotten Tomatoes score, and I'm like
Hmm.
right aligned with it, which is weird. And like, it's just one of those things that I wish the BGG score was closer to that. That I could
Yeah.
just look at it and go, oh, that's obviously good or whatever. But it's not like that. It's like BGG has this weird relationship with um thematic shit. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I
I'm just
don't know what
talking.
it is either, but I used to buy games because of their how high they were up in the top games on BGG. And
Mhm.
when I look through them now, like there's quite a few titles that I don't like, but there's quite a few that I do and that I respect. And I think that I mean, obviously, these are games that are all very highly marketed, by the way. They're
Mm-hmm.
huge companies that have put them out there. They're very highly marketed. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of them, and it's not all of the good games. There are like so many amazing games that are in the niche category that are never going to get there because they just don't have the chance of that exposure. And that's really sad,
They don't have
right?
the break in and all that shit they could ever get
Right,
because there's just not enough people played it. But I
right.
mean, the thing
And
you can
then
say about go ahead.
no, but I was just going to say, but it's still a good, like, if you're just getting into the hobby, I think it's still a good way to start looking at a few games that you might want to try out.
The top 100 games are gonna play. They're gonna be somewhat balanced. They're gonna be decent. They might not be your style, but they'll be decent.
Yeah,
And we've got a lot of text.
we do.
I
Okay,
thought it was a lot. It
so,
looked like a lot
oh,
since it was just a
yeah, Chris
column.
has a really, Chris said that this requires an app. It's not a game, 1 out of 10. Every time a game with an app comes out, one of the great things about Steam reviews is you can see how long the person has actually played. Ah, that's really good. Yeah, I
That
don't know
is
how you would
good.
solve this with analog games. Yeah, how many plays you've done, that would be amazing. Like you
Yeah.
have to log plays. You have to log a certain amount of plays in
Oh
BGG to be able to
no.
rate a game. That'd be so
I
good.
would never be able to rate a game. I
Yeah,
don't
because you
log
don't log your
plays.
plays. I'll sometimes look at games that are rated highly, but it's never enough to justify purchase without any research. Nice. Oh, Jace is the one that was talking about the Steam game. Sorry, yeah. And then Chris said, yeah, I love that about Steam reviews. Jace said, maybe if BG Stats had a review score and you could see how many logged plays
Yeah,
someone
I
had.
wonder if they do because if that would be cool if they had a separate scoring for the BGG stats. Like if not on
Mm.
BGG, just the stats app itself had its own scoring. I would totally download the app for that. I
Although,
don't it does it?
no, I don't think it does, but also people can fudge the numbers as well.
I just want the old way the old guard burnt down and start from the ground up. I don't like BGG scoring at all.
I
I
can
feel
imagine some, idiot who's about to rate a game, one, just because they don't like the box cover. All right. And just going, oh, yeah, I'll just put 100 in. I've 100 plays done.
but you could attach it to the amount of plays. So, like, I
That's
hate
what
the
I'm
cover
saying.
so much
You can
that I'll
fake it
play
though.
10 times to make sure that my one counts.
That's what I'm saying. You could fudge a number, so it doesn't
Yeah, you
really
could. You
make
could.
sense. I am surprised. Is that a real thing, Chris? You hate apps that much that you're just like, no apps. And what about you, babe? Are you I don't want a bit of this and a bit of column A, a bit of column B. It has to be all analog or all
I
digital.
don't mind apps, but I'm not going to use it to log fucking scores.
No, I'll
Like,
do
if,
that for you. I'm doing
yeah,
that
yeah.
for you, babe.
If there's a game that
I got
has
all
an
your
app,
losses right here, babe.
okay, so this is a game idea we thought about a long time ago. If
Yeah.
you had a game, like a board game, which you could, like, let's say it's uh, about computer companies or whatever taking your data and reselling it and stuff. But in the game, you actually did a little bit of that. Like you put like Sarah tends to like to play blue. You just put little bitty things that like Sarah usually during the third round likes to do this thing. I noticed or whatever. Like you're adding those things into this person's profile that they don't know about, right?
Right.
And that would all be on the app side. And when you do that, you get to like you have an avatar for the game and you build it a house and you do all that stupid shit that they do in games or whatever and stuff. But there's no practical application for it except for the next time I play against you. I can use a little bit of my points to get some of that information about you. Like, so now I know a little bit about the way she plays.
And that's messed up.
Yeah, but see, it would fit the theme of the game, and you would actually, you'd be doing the thing that you're talking about doing,
Yeah.
and also it would interact with people that way as well.
I like it, but now I'm feeling a little bit alarmed and I feel like I should whenever I play a board game with you, I should like wear a sheet and just have the eyeball holes cut out because you're probably watching everything I do.
Whenever she
Okay.
plays Scout, she likes to,
Mm.
or like if she's playing a trick taking game, she likes to line her smaller cards on the right side and her larger cards on the left side. Shit like
And
that.
whenever she's about to fuck me over, she has this huge smile on her face
Yeah,
just before she does
exactly.
it. Chris said, "No, I don't mind apps, but there is a very vocal minority that do, yeah. But if it has an app, it needs to do something interesting more than just reading some text or a glorified timer."
100%. 100%
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I don't mind apps if like the one app that I did have was for Gloomhaven because tracking the wounds for all the bad guys is fucking pain in the ass sometimes. And that was really cool. And the status effect tokens and remembering when to take them off and the bloody elements and stuff like that. That was the app for that is really good. You can just get
Yeah,
rid of all of that. Just do that in the app. Jay said mashup of dating profile and board game stats.
there you go.
Oh, no, this is sounding really geeky
But
though.
not dating. For me, like dating style, but it'd be about board games.
Yeah, it would just be
I
about
want your
dating and
information.
beating them at board games. That's all it is.
So
So,
I don't know. As far as apps go, I would like flavor text and all that recorded and done with background music, and then like so you can actually get the theme through that. That would be kind of cool.
you
Like,
don't even like theme. What are you talking about?
well, if I'm gonna like theme, I don't want to fucking hear myself fucking say
You
the.
can have the train conductor telling you what cube he
You'd be
wants.
like,
Give me the
choo
red cube.
choo,
Choo choo.
choo choo, mf'er.
Oh my God. That's so funny. All right, Chris said, yeah, sure, but the Gloomhaven app isn't needed. It's just a nice addition. I'm talking more about mandatory apps. Yeah. Yeah, forcing you to
Mm,
get an app sucks. Oh, no, you know what other app's good? And this is a good example
Descent.
of an app. This is a good example of an app that's like helps the game big
Hold on,
time.
hold on. Let me guess. Let me guess. The space game. Hunt for Planet X.
Yes. Yeah, Search for Planet X. That's a really good like example because you have secret information that you need to find out from the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. I I forgot that it can be done without the app.
Can it?
Can it? Right? I thought it could. Maybe it
Can it?
can't.
I
Maybe
don't
it
think
has
it
to be
can.
done with the app.
I
I
think you
don't know.
have to have the app. Haha, just a human recording train sounds instead of
Yeah.
doing assembly. Yeah, it is
Or
Mo
just how
recording.
about like I'm sorry you're bankrupt. Just like you just play it like it's like choo choo.
Choo choo. Daniel's here. Hi, Daniel. He's saying I don't think so. And I don't know what that relates to. What don't
What
you
does he not
think?
think so?
What do you think? And the app for deal with the devil is also necessary. I know you can
Hmm.
with cryptid. Yeah, cryptid you can. Cryptid is all just you all have a rule and you have to make sure you remember it. Isn't that right, Mo? Because if you don't remember it,
No,
people
not
get
that cryptid again.
get it all crazy. They get it all fucked up. You don't like cryptid, do you?
I don't know yet.
You
I
suck.
don't know yet. I haven't played it.
You haven't actually experienced the game properly.
Yeah, I've experienced it. I haven't played it.
I was a little too tipsy for cryptid, I think. Even though
Mm,
I was tipsy, I did know where the cryptid was. If
I
someone
needed
hadn't
I
stuffed up the clue, I would have been fine.
I needed to sit down with people who have never played it before and just play with them so I could learn it. It's weighted too heavily in people with experience or smarter
What? No,
people.
it's
I just
not.
need to play with
No,
dumber
it's just a
people.
logic puzzle. It's just the same as Search for Planet X. It's just figuring out.
No, Search for Planet X you could do decent the first time. I don't think you can play really well the first time at Cryptid unless you really understand what the hell's going on. And I didn't. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
me, my low
I think it
aptitude.
was. You know what? I don't think it was you, babe.
It's my low
I'm gonna go
altitude.
out on a limb
Altitude
here. Your altitude. You're flying
was
at low
too low.
altitude.
Yeah, I was
I
flying
I
low.
think that I don't think it was your fault, babe. I'm on your side this time. This one time.
Oh wow! Write
Don't get
that
used to it.
down.
Don't get used to it.
It's been the first
It was
time this whole year.
Yeah, I didn't know how to teach it. It was actually really cute. Okay, so I want to say that this was actually a really cute moment for us because I bought the game and then you were like, you should choose the game that you want to play. You want to play this, you should play it. And I was way too tipsy to play it and I couldn't remember it and I couldn't teach it. But I didn't want to waste that moment because it was a very sweet moment where you were like telling me that I could play my game.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And I
Oh
was like,
man.
okay. And then I had No idea what was going on. I couldn't teach it. Luckily, some guy came over that played it recently. Remember that just random guy came over to the table and he was like, "I played this recently. I know how to play it." And then I was saved,
Yeah,
partially saved. It was an absolute clusterfuck actually,
you
but
guys
yeah.
got through it. I'm curious.
You're like, you guys got through it. What were you doing? You were just
I was there.
along for the ride.
I was a pulse. I was just a pulse. I was just there. I was a body.
You were a
So
buddy.
I'm curious what Daniel was talking about. What did he not agree
Okay.
with? Did he get to? Did he? I don't think he.
Oh, he doesn't think that you can play the Search for Planet X without the app.
Ah, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Probably
Jay
not.
says there has been some concern about app-driven games around what if the company or developer goes bust. I think some companies have made the app source available to alleviate those concerns. Yeah, people don't like it's funny. It's funny in the board game world where people are playing games for like they're playing it a couple of times and then forgetting about it. That they're so concerned that this app is going to last forever. Like it's such a weird thing to complain about. It's like, come on, how long are you going to be playing this game? Come on,
That
really?
reminds me of Hadrian's Wall. Okay, Hadrian's Wall comes with like 100 of both of that sheet. It comes with 100 of each, and people have gone and just taken the top one off and laminated that son of a bitch. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? There's no way you're gonna get that many plays out of this fucking game. You can play until you get tired and sell it, and there's still enough for other people to play for
Right.
many years afterward.
I've got a thought. What about putting like the last page in the notepad is like $100. There's $100 tucked in there. You get your money back, but no one
Yeah, that'd
knows
be
because they'll
nice.
never get to the fucking bottom.
You'll never
They'll
fucking
never
get it.
get there.
It's money lost.
There's all that money out there. No one knows about it. They won't
Yeah,
play it that many times.
like I broke it open and then there was someone there that's like, "Are you gonna laminate those? Are you gonna laminate a set?" I'm like, "What?" I was like, "If we get
Nope.
through this, I'm okay trashing the game. Like I'm okay throwing it in the bin. We've accomplished the thing. Or I'm
Yeah.
also okay if they like the company makes two more of these things, I'll just buy those from there
Yeah.
or
Buy
buy
the
a
new
whole new
pads.
set. I'll support
Right.
the company. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to support the big laminator, whatever company that is.
Big Laminator Inc. Shay said there's a Willy Wonka golden ticket in the back. There might be. No one will ever know.
No one will ever fucking know in that game. Never. Because rolling rights my thought is rolling rights are going to lose their oomph in the next couple years.
I feel like they kind of have already, actually.
Well, they have on the player side, not on the designer side.
Yeah. Which is sad because I feel like they just did very similar things with that. I think that
There's some
the
really really good
deadline.
ones. There are really really good ones out there that are being clouded with some of the bad ones.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot that we can learn from rolling rights, but there might be too much hype where there's too many that are being made at one time. But hopefully I'm wrong.
Mm.
I hope that I'm completely wrong because I don't know anything. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Speaking of rolling rights, as best dice, we need to see it played. We need to see it
Yeah.
made. You need to
Agree.
make it before
It's
it's
best
too
dice.
late, Daniel. You need to make it before it's too late.
Harry said I backed Motor City when the campaign was out, and before it's even fulfilled, I'm over it. I'm over Roll and Right. Actually, that one actually looks kind of heavy. Doesn't look too bad.
Motor
I'm
City?
curious about that one. Yeah,
Mm.
we'll see.
I'm only interested in Daniel's at this point.
Because it's based on the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I like
available.
the name. As best
Yeah,
dice,
it's best
although he
dice.
probably can't get to use it. He's going to go cards or whatever, but I'm way interested in what he does.
Yeah,
Because that's one thing that I haven't seen done with rolling rights is meaningful content,
yeah. It
like a
sounds like he
meaningful
has a lot
story.
of design ideas as well, and he's got the other game he's designing. So yeah,
Hmm.
be interesting to see. Jay says, "Let's see how Roland writes alongside." Huh? Let's just see Roland writes alongside the crossword section and be done with it.
That's true for some of those.
Yeah,
It.
I liked Fleet the Dice game, but
You liked what?
this one didn't. Fleet the Dice game.
Nope. Move on.
Okay, let's end it there. I'm
On
done.
Fleet the Dice game.
Let's
It
end the
was
friend.
okay. It was okay. There's shrimp
Yeah.
in it. I'll
It's
give it
not
that.
amazing. It's not
It's got shrimp in it. It's
amazing.
got shrimp. That's good.
Does have shrimp.
It
I
got
don't know.
shrimp boats too.
I thought it was kind of fun. I like drafting. I'm a sucker for drafting. There's
That
drafting
might
in
be the
here.
problem. It's just the drafting.
What? That's the problem?
Yeah, you're a sucker for
Why?
drafting.
Right.
You can't be
I can't
unbiased
see
because
past
there's
it. Right.
drafting. So
I
that's
know.
we're just gonna add drafting so you'll like it.
Yeah.
We'll just we'll get you to the table by saying, "Oh, this game has drafting." Then you'll come
Yeah.
to the table and you'll be
Yeah.
severely disappointed.
Oh dear. Yeah.
I guess we're
All
gonna
right.
wrap it up there. Does anyone have anything else to say in the chat or anything chastising Sarah for any reason at all? I'd like to hear it.
Wow. It's a bit rude.
Or me.
After I taught you Carnegie.
What's that? You taught me.
After I taught you Carnegie, I've been really nice. I've been
Yeah,
really nice. I said a nice thing about you before. Just remember that.
I do. All right, I guess.
Harry, Harry wants to learn the cost.
Oh, I thought he had played it already.
Shit together. Everyone's so mean. See what you've done? You started this. Inciting a riot. No, Harry hasn't played the cost. I would love to teach the cost sometime.
Yeah, I'd love for him to play it. Definitely, that would be cool.
It's
It'll
really
probably
good.
happen before I get there, but that I definitely want to hear about it.
All right, that's it. That's
All
all I
right.
got. I
Well,
need to raise my legs now.
thanks for showing up. I guess we need
Yeah,
to
thanks
walk
everyone.
around and shake it all about.
Oh, Chris hasn't played it either. What's going on? That's it. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Oh,
Let's
I can't
do
do
it.
it right now. All
I
right,
hope you
thanks
guys get
everyone.
to play. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.